A lot of people are living in depression. They're living in anxiety. And it's not a fun place to live. Because when you're living in anxiety, when you're living in fear, when you're living in worry, there's a lot of resistance in that state. There's a lack of joy. There's a lack of being in the present and loving your life and loving what you do. And so a lot of people in society take being depressed on a consistent basis as something that's normal. And I don't think that being depressed on a consistent basis every single day is normal. I think that experiencing negative emotions, having things come up to the surface, is a natural part of life. But when it comes to being stuck in a continual loop of anxiety, of fear, of worries, being stuck in a loop that some people are stuck in for their entire life, that is something that can be changed. That is not what I would consider normal, although that's how society sees it right now. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you not how to never feel depressed ever again, or never feel a negative emotion ever again, but how to break the cycle of depression, break the cycle of negative emotions, and truly overcome these issues at the core, to truly step into the core. Because when you only focus on the surface level, that's when the depression never goes away. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. So the first thing I want you to understand when it comes to actually overcoming this depression, this anxiety that you might be feeling or have felt in the past, is to understand one thing. If you take one thing from this video, just one thing, because what most people do is they click off the videos early. Now that's okay. I highly would recommend that you don't do that, because this video has the potential to completely change your life. But if you do decide to close early, I want you to take one thing from this video. And that one thing is the first point that I'm going to be sharing with you in regards to how to overcome your anxiety and your depression. How to overcome anxiety and depression. Here's the first truth that will completely change your life. You are not depressed. You are not an emotion. You are the one that is aware of a feeling in your body and a thought in your mind that says, I am depressed. You see, what we are at the core is not a thought. It's not an emotion. It's not a feeling. You're something much deeper. Society has conditioned us to believe that we are depressed. Now let me share with you something. You are not depressed. You are something much deeper than a label of depression. Is that how you want to define yourself in life? I am depressed. Is that what you want to define yourself as? Now, at the other side of the coin, we could say I am happy. But is that who or what you are at the core either? Are you a label of any kind? Even a positive label. Is that what you are? Are you a positive label? Or are you a negative label? Or are you none? Because what I'm here to tell you is that if you take one thing from this video, that one thing is that you are not an emotion. You are not a thought. And it's not so much that the negative emotions that we have in life are the issue, because negative emotions are a part of life. The problem is when we attach to the emotions to be who and what we truly are. Now, so the second thing I want you to understand is that your job is not necessarily to actually change the emotion. Your job, so to speak, even though I wouldn't quite say that it's a job, is to understand that that separation that I just spoke of, where you can actually almost, separation is one way to say it, where you can separate who you truly are as consciousness, as the observer, as the stillness that can simply observe thoughts and observe emotions and observe feelings. When you can actually separate yourself and realize that you are the awareness of the depression, that separation in of itself is in fact the first step to overcoming that depression. That's the first step. Because what happens is that when you're aware of an emotion and you can actually see that you are not that emotion. See, when I say you, I'm not talking about your thoughts or your body or your emotions. When you realize that you are not that emotion, that already is the first step. What happens is that when you bring awareness into an emotion like that, the awareness in itself, in of itself, is already transmuting that negative energy into a higher vibrational energy. Because what happens is that when we're really, really attached, when we're really attached to an emotion, when we're really attached and identified with an emotion, that literally it almost adds fuel to the fire. But when you bring awareness into it, what you're doing is actually you're transmuting, which means that the awareness in itself is actually shifting that energy. And that's a powerful truth to realize. It's a powerful truth to realize you don't have to fight what you feel. You don't have to change what you feel. You can just simply focus on being that awareness, and then what happens is that automatically that actually shifts the emotion, that actually shifts the feeling that you have in your body. Now, the third thing I want you to understand to finish off this video is that there's no need to fight what you feel. There's no need to resist what you feel. Because here's the thing, positive emotions will happen in life. Negative emotions will happen in life. But when we stop fighting, when we stop resisting, when we stop trying to change the depression, we allow it to be there from the space of observation. Because when I say allow it to be there, that's a tricky thing. Because when I say allow it to be there, you might confuse that for letting yourself be attached, right? When I say let yourself feel what you feel, somebody may misinterpret that as like, okay, I'm just gonna let myself be depressed and and let myself be attached to my thoughts and live for my ego. No. I mean, let yourself be depressed. Stop trying to change the depression from that space and from the realization that you, in fact, are not that depression. And so this is the key. This is the key. If you get this, it's not that you'll never feel negative emotions ever again in your life, but the relationship that you have to those emotions will change. The relationship that we have to those feelings will change. And that is the power. That's the power. The power is not when you fight, when you change, when you manipulate, when you resist. The power is when you stop trying to change it and you come to complete acceptance. Because here's the thing that I want you to understand before I finish off this video. True change comes from acceptance. And awareness is the first step to acceptance. Because it's absolutely absurd to be aware of something and not accept it for what it is. That's what you call insanity. And that's what the ego does. The ego lives pretty much in insanity. So the true power is to stop fighting, is to be aware and watch how the awareness that you apply to these emotions, that you apply to these feelings, will actually transmute and begin to shift the energy. Maybe not all at once. Maybe at the beginning you still feel depression, but at least you've stopped resisting it and you've come to terms with it. But over time, watch how the awareness can actually, just a simple awareness can actually shift the energy and allow you to come to your true self, which is bringing you one step closer to peace. So that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. And as always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.